Lori Martinez from Asha Yoga, and right now I'd like to talk to you about bearing weight on the hands and wrists in yoga postures. Wrist pain is a common complaint in yoga. Sometimes this is due to long hours on the computer or other daily activities. However, wrist pain can also be a result of yoga postures. Wherever the problem begins, it can be exacerbated by bearing weight in the hands in yoga. Fortunately, bearing weight in the hands can also prevent future damage and be the needed therapy for current pain when approached skillfully. First of all, due to the lack of this particular movement, most people gradually lose the ability to move easily and safely into full wrist extension, a 90-degree angle between the hand and the forearm. Dynamic yoga practices generally include a lot of postures that require this position of the wrist while bearing a substantial amount of weight. Examples include plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and arm balances like crow and handstand. So to prevent straining the wrists from overstretching or overworking, it's important to recognize the potential need for working up to weight bearing in the hands slowly. This may require modifying poses so that less weight is in the hands or wrists are not fully extended. Examples include putting your knees down in plank, lifting the heels of your palms with your mat or a yoga wedge. The front of your palm should be firmly rooted on the ground. You might also skip certain poses altogether or after you've done them a few times. To build and maintain healthy functioning wrists, integrate regular flexion and extension of the wrists into your practice while bearing little to no weight. Here's a few things you can do. From your hands and knees, place your palms down and then spin the right fingers all the way to the right until they point to your right knee or until they don't go any further, whichever comes first. And then if you can, do the same thing with the other hand. But if you can only do one hand at a time, that's fine too. And then start to lean back so that you sit toward your heels. And if you need to walk your hands further towards your knees to make this more accessible, you can do that. And then once you've turned the wrists in that direction, you're going to want to take them into the opposite direction as well. So you can round the top of your right wrist and pull your thumb towards your forearm. And then take your 4 free fingers together and press them towards your thumb. And then stay here for a couple of breaths. And you'll want to switch sides. So you're going to round the top of the wrist, pull the thumb towards the underside of the forearm using your right hand, and then squeeze your 4 free fingers together and press them towards your thumb. And stay here for a couple of breaths. And you can release, lace all your fingers together, and then just start to move the wrists around. You might make a figure 8 position or just randomly move the wrists around. Also, during your practice, apply Hasta Bandha, which is the hand lock. This means that you distribute weight into the front of the palms and the inner heel of the palm, as well as the outer edge and heel of the palm, while drawing up through the center of the palm, the wrists, and the arms. The tendency is to lean most of our weight into the outer edge and heel of the palm. To facilitate the action of drawing up from the center of the palm through the wrists and arms, it is sometimes helpful to claw the ground slightly with your fingertips. Remember to keep the front of the palms plus the inner and outer heel of the palms rooting down. Eventually, the clawing action can be eliminated and the fingers can relax. Be sure to apply Hasta Bandha in all poses where your hands or wrists bear weight. Remember, downward dog and plank, which are repeated many times in most dynamic practices, can either aggravate, heal, or prevent wrist injury depending on what you do with your hands. I look forward to seeing you in class soon.